What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? We are about to start our first installment of Monday Mints. There's a lot to talk about. It's actually been a month since PRS Fest in Puerto Rico, which was very, very successful. We had a great time, a lot of great people, a lot of good vibes. We did what we normally do when it comes to PRS Fest in terms of being a party with a purpose. And that purpose is all things Puerto Rico. And hopefully that's just the beginning. But this year our purpose was raising money for the Boys and Girls Club and other organizations in Puerto Rico by way of an event called Art 60. Art 60 was an event that happened at the Fairmont Hotel in Isla Verde. And it was, I mean, we had a lot of amazing artists from Sentu, Cope 2, just a whole bunch of people who had donated art. And we raised on the first day of PRS Fest, we raised about $30,000 by selling art. So that was a great thing. So that is the purpose when it comes to PRS Fest. We do things that are about giving back, and I think, you know, for me personally, PRS Fest is always going to be something that's about the give back, supporting very vulnerable communities, making sure that we support education and economic development on the island of Puerto Rico. So then the second day, after the Art 60, we ended up having an amazing event because we had will.i.am DJ at the Fairmont Hotel lobby. Now, this lobby is very Gatsby-like. So with our vibe and what was happening with will.i.am, we were able to create a sort of like a Gatsby meets hip-hop and dance vibe. And that was really, really fun. A legend is on. Lisette Melendez, got to shout her out. But yeah, so then, the next day we had the main event, which was the concert at Vivo Beach Club. We were sold out. We had Arcangel, we had Black Eyed Peas, Big Daddy Kane, Tony Touch, Elisani, Noemi, Destroy. We had Lado Ver. And it was just an all-around nice vibe of different kinds of artists. I think a lot of people would like us to be one thing or the other, but I think in terms of having a festival, you have to be pretty diverse, and you have to be able to provide people with different lanes of entertainment, because that is what brings people together. So that was amazing. The vibe was beautiful. We had a great time. The staff that's working with PRS Fest right now is an amazing staff. I couldn't have asked for a better group of people to work with. Then, we brought it home. We brought it to what it should be in Puerto Rico on that Sunday, where we had an amazing beach party. The food was delicious. It was held at Drift, which is a restaurant in Loíza. Loíza is very much a big Afro-Latino community, and we really wanted to bring those vibes to that community, so that we're also making sure that we're providing work, and we're bringing tourists into an area that could use that extra help. So that's what's going on. So now, that's what happened. But what's going on today is I'm going to bring on a few people. We are going to be talking about the PRS Festival, PRS Fest membership, which also has a give back component outside of being a member of PRS Fest, where you have access to events and discounts and opportunities, VIP situations over the next couple of years. We are doing things that are about making sure that we're impacting the community around us in a great way. And we're going to get into more detail. So first I want to bring on a couple of my, I'm going to call them the CN mob, the cool nerd mob. Yeah, CN mob, the cool nerd mob. I like that. They're probably thinking like this guy's crazy right now. But the first one I'm gonna bring on is let's see which name pops up first. First name I'm gonna bring up. Well, start with A. Start with Audrey. Audrey is someone who worked on and did an amazing job. She was one of the guardian angels of the festival, you know. I'm going to bring on Mr. Mo, who is spearheading the whole NFT project. And then I'm going to bring on Max. And hopefully this goes pretty easy and everyone joins in right now. So I'm excited, man. This is cool. Hey, Max.
All right. What up, legs?
We're probably gonna have to adjust our bodies as as other people chime in and get in here. Let's see who's here. Oops, I did the wrong one for Audrey. She's on PRS Fest. Boom. Okay. Hey. Sorry about that, Audrey. Now we just need to get Mr. Mo on. All right. Let me just see if I can get Mr. Mo on again. He's the most technologically savvy person, and it's odd that he's the one having the hardest time getting in. Oh, it's unable to join. What's up with that? Accept. All right, here we go. Let's get this going.
So what is an NFT?
Oh, we're going to be taking questions too. Mr. Mo, I'm not used to seeing you without your Black Millennium Falcon. So if everyone can just introduce yourselves, we'll start with Audrey, then Max, and then Mr. Mo.
What's up, everybody? I'm here in Puerto Rico. So saludos, familia, los que están viendo. I'm just doing a little bit of hello in the comments. I'm going to keep an eye on the comments for questions and stuff coming in Spanish. So feel free to send this live to anyone that you want to be in on this. It's going to be so valuable and so juicy. I loved getting to be a part of this team. I feel super honored and humbled to be on the ground here in Puerto Rico as the liaison for the tech team. I usually have my glasses on these calls because it helps me feel smarter, because these guys are brilliant. But this project has been such an incredible experience, and to tangibly see gaps being closed and bridges coming together is incredible. So thanks for having me.
Thank you for being down with us.
Yes.
Mr. Mighty Max.
What's up, y'all? I am Maximino, aka Mighty Max, and it's my pleasure to be here. I am a audio engineer, but now I am working in the crypto space. Created a company called Crypto Creator, where we help artists navigate the whole crypto space, help organizations onboard onto the crypto space. And it's a pleasure to be working with the Puerto Rock Steady crew. I'm a B-boy, so I kind of understand the whole cultural impact that this is going to have. And I think you guys are going to get some good insights on what an NFT is and why it's going to be important in the future. So there we go.
And then we have Mr. Mo, the brainchild of the PRS Fest PRS Fest membership NFT. I'm still trying to figure out what should go first, because I'm going to be completely honest with everyone. This is all new to me as well, but because you've shown us how to do something in a much better way, that's with a give back component, there's a lot for me to learn.
Yeah. So first, thank you for the opportunity to be here with everyone. It's really an exciting time to see PRS, move into the next chapter, incorporating new technologies like NFTs and the things that it's going to be able to enable, mainly to support a lot of the social good causes. And our objective really is to make sure that we can give back, so design a festival with NFTs that actually are powering all the social good programs, beginning with the digital divide, and then moving into water, and as well as renewable energy. So that's a really exciting thing. Now, really important to understand, to know that this is the first that is being launched in Puerto Rico. And this is really exciting because NFTs usually are used for different purposes, mainly in gaming. You might have seen in gaming, or with Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, or with CryptoPunks. But this is special. This is a very special NFT because it gives back to the community, but it also gives some perks. And those perks are being able to participate at some of the events and some of the festivals. So I'm excited to talk to everyone and help everyone understand what an NFT is, the opportunities of an NFT, and how really this new technology is an opportunity for us also as community, Latino, Black, people of color, just coming together to understand the importance of this, because things are changing in the world. And this is going to be a big part of that. So we have to up our game collectively, get a new type of financial literacy.
Yeah.
We got to wrap our minds around that. So I appreciate you having me.
Thank you. So this is, like I said, the first installment. This is our intro to Monday Mints. It is a new series, and we are going to help a bunch of people who learn about the PRS membership. It's givebacks. I already gave an update before I brought everyone in, but I think the most important thing, and it's crazy because anyone, look, for me, I would think like this: oh, they're just trying to make money, and like this is the actual first kind of NFT to be done in Puerto Rico, or for Puerto Rico, in terms of supporting families dealing with domestic violence, as well as economic development and education. I do have a nice relationship with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Puerto Rico, so we plan on continuing those efforts. And with the help of my friend Hugo Sanchez from Modi and Josette Thompson, we were able to add a strategy that is about the give back, and I would say, well, I mean, it's really important on multiple levels, and I think Mo usually expresses this the best way. But in terms of the phone devices and what we plan on doing in the future, Mo is the one who pretty much designed everything, and with all these things coming together because of like myself, Audrey, Max, Josette, and Hugo, we're at a point now where we can really make a difference. And I just like hearing the way Mo says it when he says it about the phone. So Mo, if you can do it, because I'm stealing all your words, I'm biting your whole style, bro.
All good, brother. All good. Look, the premise of the NFT is this. Anytime an NFT is sold, so every NFT gifts a smart device, which is going to bridge the digital divide in Puerto Rico. So let's talk first about the problem. The problem is that if you can't even make a phone call during a crisis, such as a hurricane, a storm, or an earthquake, that is a major issue. So we have to really address the digital divide there. And the way we do that is by using these NFTs to be able to subsidize the cost of the smart devices. And it gives access to the network. So the phones are connected to the AT&T network. And here, this is important because something as simple as a phone call, they're going to be able to make, which is great. So that's understanding the problem first. People cannot make a phone call. People cannot connect to the internet. So I think we're at a point in time where that should be a human right to be able to make a phone call or to get connected to the internet. So these devices, I think, can help to provide a solution in, making sure that we address the digital divide in vulnerable communities. These are communities that, that they're struggling. So this is an opportunity for us to help. And I think that we can go much further than that, because once, not only are you using the device for emergency services or to make a call, but also think of what just happened. The world went through a pandemic. We went into quarantines and we were shut off from the world. So education came to a halt for many, many people. And being able to have a device that young people can still stay connected to the education system, that's just as important. So it also solves the problem of communication, number one, the continuation of education, which we have to make sure that younger people are always connected. And then the third thing is that as the internet is moving towards this new infrastructure, which is being referred to as Web3, or you might have heard it referred to as the metaverse, that's the next evolution of the internet, there's going to be new businesses and new economies. So these new economies, we want to make sure that the younger generation have the opportunity to participate in these new economies. Some of these new economies are known as play to earn. They're also learn to earn models. And another.
Wait, what is play to earn?
So
Yeah.
play
That always kills me.
So,
Wait.
so let's go through that. Yeah, no worries. So play to earn is basically a simple model where you can go play a game. And when you think of the users in a game, the users are the ones that are providing the value. You have someone to play with. So traditionally, that money is being made by the gaming company. They make pretty much 99% of that. These new models allow you that if you're putting your time and effort in playing a game and you're playing with someone else, it rewards you in the form of a token. So there's a play to earn model. So it's an incentivizing mechanism. Want to share something?
Yeah, I mean, I think we should take a step back and actually try to, most people that are here right now, they don't even know what an NFT is. So I think it's important that we start there and explain, and you're the best person to explain it, what an NFT is, so the layman person or the person who doesn't understand what it is, a real simple, concise explanation on what it is and why they need it, because they're hearing about it. They're seeing all this money being transferred, but nobody really knows why. Like, why do I need this? It's almost like social media. Why did we need social media in the beginning? Go ahead, Mr. Mo.
Right. So, okay, so let's go through this. Let's jump in. So an NFT, which is, by the way, a terrible name.
Right.
Name, but it's a terrible name. But it's short for non-fungible token. So this idea and concept of a token is something that I like to refer to it as, this is a digital wrapper that you put around anything. It began, of course, with art, right? So you see you guys can look on the wires and see the stories of the Beebles who are selling art pieces as NFTs. In that scenario, the NFT is acting as the certificate of authenticity from the artist. So for the application of intellectual property like art, it is the verification that you are the creator. Sell that, and that token will be given to the buyer, and so on and so on. So it's like a chain of title. So
hey, Mr. Mo, can I just JPEG it? Can I just JPEG it?
Well, that's so this is something that we often hear back, is the right click and save crowd like to say, well, I could just, but that's no different than.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Someone has their pinging on. Who's
That might be
pinging?
me.
Not me.
That might be me.
So I'll continue while you mean. So there's this notion that you can right click and you can save a file and now you own it. But that's like saying that you could record a song off the internet and now you own it. The question is this: now that you recorded the song, are you getting the royalties for that song? And the answer is no. The royalties go to the owner of the creation of that piece. So right clicking, yes, you may have access to it, but you do not have ownership to that. That's a
Right.
very, to make that distinction, especially for creative people, for musicians, for artists that are creating intellectual property, whether that's art, whether that's a song, a film, all different forms of human expression. So the NFT allows us to create a system where if you're selling an NFT, you are rewarded for that. You receive those funds. And if someone decides to buy your NFT or resell that NFT, then it allows you to participate in the royalties of that NFT, which is great because these are the ideas and concepts that we want to incorporate into PRS as building a social good economy. Any NFT that is ever resold, a small portion of that will make its way back to support all of the causes, which is fantastic.
So
again, this is very different, very, very innovating, and I have to give a lot of credit to Legs for incorporating this idea and concept, because this is about also reimagining the way nonprofits can work in the future. It's not just based on a donation, it's based on a system that you could use NFTs and you can use that as a give back, but you can also add additional perks like access to the festival or even a merchandising item. Anytime that NFT is used and sold or resold 2 or 3 times, there's a small portion of that royalty that's going to go back to all of the different nonprofits that PRS is working with. And I think that's the exciting part about all of this.
So let's use like the Mona Lisa for an example. Everybody can have a print of the Mona Lisa, take a screenshot of it, but there's only one owner, and the blockchain and an NFT will authenticate who that owner is, correct?
Yeah, so that's a good example of an NFT for an art piece. But let me give you a few more examples of what an NFT could be used for. An NFT could be used for the title of your home. An NFT can be used to fundraise, to crowdfund. So you can create a short amount of NFTs. If you have an idea, say if you're an entrepreneur and you have an idea or you have an invention, you could use NFTs to crowdfund. You could use NFTs for intellectual property, right? Which I think is a killer application. But eventually we see a market that every industry, all the way from real estate to healthcare to the entertainment industry, all using NFTs to be able to interact and to transfer value, to program them. These are programmable assets. So consider this for a moment. During the dot-com era in the mid-90s, there were all of these companies that came to market. Everyone used their websites very differently. We use websites for portals and search engines. Others programmed them for e-commerce platforms. Other companies use them to create auction sites, payment services, right? So the way you can program websites differently, you can program NFTs for specific purposes. E-commerce, healthcare, titles to homes, real estate. Eventually, you will see NFTs being used as a form of identification or even for voting, which I think is something that we're seeing more evidence that blockchains and NFTs will be used for that. So they can be used for multiple different purposes. It's not just a JPEG. They could be used for multiple different things.
Hey, anybody have questions, just leave it in the comments so we can answer them.
Yeah. So I put digital verification on the blockchain for any human expression or content or intellectual property. So technically, I can be an NFT.
Yeah, whichever way you want to express whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's a cause to raise money, whether it's a form of art or a form of intellectual property, you could use it so many different ways.
So
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, kind of like if you were to mix something like maybe as an artist, let's say Patreon plus Kickstarter plus Etsy into one sort of logo that you could purchase, that would contain access to all of those different things that you have, that you put content in, right?
Yeah, so for creators, this is a really exciting time for creators, because this is about the reimagining of the way royalties are going to work in the future. And this is an opportunity for creative people or companies to build what we refer to as creator economies. So think of this for a moment. You're an artist. There's different ways to generate revenue. You can record an album and use an NFT to sell that. You can have a concert or a show and use an NFT as a ticket. You can use NFTs for all different forms. You can even make an NFT that your fans and followers can participate in your royalties. So if you don't feel that you want to go to a record company and get an advance and get into debt, you can go to your fan base and say, guys, I want to make my IP available, and what I'm willing to do is share my royalties with you. And the reality is this: the fans are
Wait. What's IP again? What's IP for those people who don't know?
So IP is short for intellectual property. So if you're a songwriter, if you're a painter, whatever you're creating is referred to as IP, which is short for intellectual property.
Yeah, and just so you know, I'm gonna push back on some of those little letter references, because you know what I've realized is that once I've gotten into anything related to the digital space, NFTs or crypto or whatever, I start hearing a whole different way of using language and acronyms and abbreviations and stuff like that. And for me, coming from where I come from, we don't know what the fuck that is. So yeah, I'm here for the people, and Mo's here for the other people, and we're trying to hit every lane so that everyone understands.
It's a whole nother language, and we all have to educate. That's why that financial literacy education is important, and it's going to be important for everybody, because just like social media, the new crypto space is coming in. It's just not just about NFTs, right? It's going to be about currency. It's going to be about a whole slew of new technology that's going to come, and it's good. Like, ask questions, like constantly, you know, if Mr. Mo says something you don't understand, jump in and be like, what is that? You know, I had someone ask a question, is how do you make an NFT, Mr. Mo?
So that's a great question. So how do you make an NFT? So
the easy way, Mo.
The easiest way to think of creating an NFT is, this is kind of like a new form of blogging, right? How do you blog, right? So you need some software, and that software allows you to blog, right? So what we refer to in the NFT space is you have to mint. So the way you mint is you go to a platform like OpenSea, which is an NFT marketplace. You can think of this as the Amazon for digital assets, or what's the other one? Coinbase now has an NFT marketplace that you can go to, and they have resources that they can walk you through to say, okay, step 1, upload your art piece. Step 2, give it a title, and tell us how many NFTs you want to create. Do you want a one of one, meaning that there will only be one, or do you want to create a limited run, or a limited edition, or a limited collection? So you could think of these as there's only 10 in existence. So we're going to create, for this example, 10 Willy Wonka tickets for PRS, and there won't be any more. So the site allows you to enter this information, and then it's going to ask you to verify that the name of your NFT, how many NFTs you're minting, and then to verify, and then you will actually mint, and it will actually create the 10 NFTs, and you will pay a small transaction fee for that process. Right now, the transaction fees are coming down. They were a bit high because of the use of the technology and the network, but paying a small fee also, I think, is good, because it helps to eliminate a lot of the spam in the market. We see a lot of spam. So creating NFTs, you mint, you pay a fee, and then you make them available in a marketplace like OpenSea or Coinbase.
So minting is actually getting your NFT onto the chain, right? That's what minting is.
Yeah, think of minting onto the chain is equivalent to publishing your article on the internet.
On the blockchain. When we say chain, that's what we mean, blockchain.
The blockchain. A blockchain is a digital ledger that's on the internet through a protocol. Many people use a network called Ethereum for that. And that's the premise of a blockchain, a distributed ledger. And now it's important to understand that these are networks that nobody owns and controls. They are completely decentralized. So what that means is nobody can kick you off. It's censorship resistant. So if there's something that you want to express and not be censored, the blockchain is a solution for that.
Yeah, and right now, Web3, right? I'm sure a lot of people heard of the term Web3, but they don't really understand. That's what Web3 is built on, right? The blockchain layer, Mr. Mo?
Yeah, so let's give definition to Web3, but let's start with what Web 1 is. So Web 1, you can think of during the mid-90s, this was referred to as the dot-com era. This was the first generation of websites. So think of Amazon, eBay, PayPal's, Google's, right? These are Web 1 companies. And pretty much as a culture, we're just going to this site to get information. So think of Web 1 as the reading, right? Web 2 is where we are enabled to speak back. And that is the rise of the social media networks, Facebook, Twitter, all the other social media platforms that come after that. And this allows us to write, right? So we have read and then we have write. But moving into Web 3 is all about one thing. Web 3 is about ownership. If you can own a house, a car, and physical assets that you have control over, why can't we do that in our digital life? Our digital life is becoming much bigger now today than it was in the past. Think of how many people are on their cell phones checking their social media, their emails, for work, for life just in general. You have a whole digital life. But it's important to understand that at any moment, Facebook, if they chose to deplatform you or ban you, everything that you've posted, you are not in control of. Web 3 allows us to control the things. We give permission, end user gives the permission, not the network. So this is the shift of centralized networks like Facebook moving towards decentralized, using things like NFTs, and these NFTs eventually will become the backbone of the metaverse. This is how the metaverse is. If I had to compare it, I would say, think of the websites in the past are going to become an immersive website, and we're going to refer to those as the metaverse. And then in the past, the way that we transferred value, in other words, the way we bought things, we use credit cards, banks, and e-commerce solution, and all the middlemen between that transaction. And what that's gonna be replaced with is NFTs. So in the future, you can buy an NFT, and that can happen in seconds. So I could buy like land that will take me, the physical land that could take me a month or two to purchase. But in the digital space, in the Web3 space, using NFTs, I can buy land in minutes. So eventually that is going to get connected to real life assets, physical assets. So you'll be able to buy and sell things much faster, much more efficiently. But the other thing that it allows is for you to participate. If someone has an idea, they want to sell a home, well, you can have multiple owners. You can have fractional ownership. So this is kind of like the timeshare concept, right? You have a timeshare, you buy a week, right? Same concepts, but now you're going to be able to do that with an NFT to be able to verify that you are an actual holder and that you are the owner of that collectively with a community or group.
Okay, I know Legs has a question.
Yeah, I
know,
do. Actually,
see him.
someone asked a question, and the question was from Monte de Leon's official. They were asking, he was asking Carlos how to use NFT for crowdfunding for a future documentary.
Yeah, and that's a great question also, because here's the other thing. We have to make sure that we're telling our stories and that we are in control of our stories. So that's really about how you want to set that up. But I think a simple way to think about this is, I have a documentary, I need to make it, and I pay X amount of dollars. Let's say I need to raise $100,000. I'm going to create some NFTs purchase. So I'll create what's referred to as the tokenomics. So say I had to create 1,000 NFTs. How many NFTs would it take to reach that goal? And I would go to a website like OpenSea. I would put in that information, and I would make that available as a documentary that you can be part of the community and help to tell the story, help to support the story. And when you purchase that NFT, that goes to help fund the documentary. Now, you might also want to include additional perks. So if say I funded a documentary, well, maybe can I go to the premiere of that documentary, or can I participate in another way with that documentary? So I see the opportunity of using this technology, that it also transcends border, because you might have a documentary that resonates with different people around the world. And I don't need 1 million people. I just need 1,000 people. And I need 1,000 people in the world that identify with what I want to express and make sure that we're bringing awareness to. So a documentary that's that can extend itself, say something like domestic violence, that we understand that around the world. We understand what that means. So your funds may come from different places. So you can use NFTs for capital formation or crowdfunding to fund your ideas.
Awesome.
There's a question there also.
It's from that cute girl, Taneo. And wait, I can't see it. Okay. Why do you think this was created? Is it because the physical dollar has lost value, not backed by much? So maybe there is just another way to create the next thing and see if people connect. I mean, that's a bigger macro question, right? About the economy and what's happening with the world right now. I'm gonna let Mr. Mo take that again.
No, I think these are great questions. So I think there's two things happening in that question. One is about just the way we view currencies, and the other question is the why. So let's tackle the bigger one right now. Let's talk about what's happening in the world right now. So what's happening in the world right now is the world is going through a currency war. We are going through this war because central banks around the world in different countries are all printing money. Now, what does that mean when you print money? That means that the more that you print money, the less value your money is, because money should be scarce. But in this case, it's not. It's just being printed over and over, and it's creating inflation, meaning that the prices of things are going to go up.
And I know y'all all feel that.
Everybody, no question, is feeling that. Now, here's the other thing. The people that feel that the most are vulnerable communities. So that's Black and Latino communities that feel that. And so this is, again, another reason why we have to kind of begin to understand financial literacy in this new space. So from the macro perspective, they're basically printing too much money. Eventually, those currencies will collapse. It's not a question of if, it's just a question of when. So that's the dollar. But here's the other thing that I feel as well, is that the dollar, the US dollar as a fiat currency has served its purpose for many, many years. However, it's now being abused. And I think eventually that will come to an end. And what will happen is the central banks will introduce a digital currency. And it's important that, especially the US, move in that direction, because if we don't move in that direction, we run the risk of other countries leading the way in that and making their currencies more dominant. So from a macro perspective, this is about inflation. It's a currency war. Now, let's go down to the next part of that question, which is this is also about the advancement of technology. And we also have to consider that as technology advances, things are beginning to change. So let me share with you this for a moment. Think of the evolution of money. Think of the way that we've transferred value back and forth from human to human over the centuries. When you think of early interactions, people basically, before money, they bartered. You had eggs and chickens, I had cows, and we would exchange those things. Eventually, as civilization began to grow, we needed a tool to change that. So we found interesting things. We found seashells. We found, eventually we find precious metals, right? And then we use those things as a transferring of value to represent value. But it's just a tool, right? When we think of money, you have to understand that there is no value in money. Money is just a tool. It's a medium of exchange. So what is of value is what you're selling. So it's either a product or service. So if I go to a restaurant to eat, what the value is in the food and in the service, and money is just the transferring of that value. So money evolving through time, seashells, through metals, and it's not into the introduction of paper money, right? Currencies now that we have the central banks now. Before that, it was all decentral. People would, exchange value amongst themselves. Then you get the invention of plastic, credit cards, and all these new financial products. And crypto is about decentralizing that, not having a centralized system, having a ledger that is distributed and that is automated, right? Entry goes in, entry comes out. We know where things are moving. So crypto and NFTs are the evolution of money, but they're going to be designed as software. And software is allowing us to create these things called blockchains, which are just ledgers, right? And it's really about the automation of our financial system. And we need automation mainly because we need to make sure that these systems are more inclusive. Here's something important to understand. There's 2 billion human beings on planet Earth that do not have banking services. They can't participate. They can't buy, sell things. They can't invest. They can't do any of that. The question is, what happens when you take 2 billion people and you leapfrog them, right? Think of people that didn't wait for a company to set up shop and they went straight to mobile or satellite. Think of countries waiting for an electric company to set up shop. They leapfrog and use solar.
Solar, yeah.
They're not going to wait for the banks to set up shop in their countries. They're going to leapfrog with a cell phone, with software as a crypto wallet, and they could add value to that. They can work and receive tokens in exchange for that value. So this is also a reimagining of the way we think about money. And it's money also is a form of expression as well, which is important to understand.
Yeah, and Mr. Mo, we're heading in that direction, right? Because I mean, if you look at what's happening in the world, starting with the pandemic, we're all digital now. Like we're moving into that space, so we're going in that direction. Either way, people don't like it. People are like, I'm not doing that. But it's just like social media. Like I remember when social media came out, I was like, why do I need this? Why do I need to be on Twitter? Why do I need to be on? I didn't get it right away, but then eventually I got it, and then you see the adoption, and that's what's happening now. Is that people are starting to pay attention because they hearing it, they seeing it, they like, what is this? And the adoption is happening right now. So everybody that's here and is learning, you are still early right now. It's still early time, and the quicker that you apply this to your life, and the quicker you adopt, the quicker you move forward and make crypto and NFTs work for you, especially for the artists and the creators out there. That's why, again, we applaud Legs for seeing the vision of crypto and being like, all right, I'm gonna experiment with this and create PRS membership token with the social good component, because he's leading the way right now with this NFT token. And the good thing about this also is that you're doing a social good, but you're also able to come to the PRS Fest for 2 years in a row. So it's like buying a ticket in advance. So if you get it, you're part of the family. You're in, you know. And again, so why we're here? Go ahead.
You know, it's important,
Uh-huh.
especially for my friends. When you do get your membership, you're not only just giving allowing us or enabling us to deliver these smartphones to vulnerable communities who need access to communication for multiple reasons. And not only are you helping us to also make donations along the way, you create less work for me. I don't have to have you calling me up, yo, Legs, I'm at the door. No, you go there, you check in, you could pre-register with your NFT to PRS Fest, and there's going to be a lane for you to have access to all the things that we're going to be providing you when you become a member of PRS Fest. And I think right now is a good time to let people know that because of the dip in the market, prices are really low. So you're actually going to get, your membership is going to be kind of dirt cheap right now. So it's a good time to snatch it up. And I'm not saying that because it's the membership, but I'm saying that because there's this dip happening, I've been making my little investments, as we speak, so that I can take advantage of that. And it gains. We're not, and it's funny because I don't want to compare it to like Bitcoin or anything like that, but the membership is its own value because of the access that it gives you. And let's face it, look, over the next couple of years, if the festival is successful, prices are going to go up. But your membership, you in no matter what for that low price, and you're just securing your admission, and you're creating less of a headache for me to answer the phone when I'm working and I'm chilling.
And you're doing a social good, which should be what everybody should really be concerned with. Like, we need to all help our community in some way, some fashion. So this helps, especially Puerto Rico, right? Like, being Latino, being Puerto Rican, I'm just happy to be doing something to help bridge that digital divide.
So,
hey, I'm sorry. No, you haven't really spoken much, so I'm going to shut up.
Oh no, I see it like two things. It's like see this pin right here? I know some of you have this special Puerto Rock Steady button pin that has a special number on the back that's basically says this is one of 100 or a limited amount of pins. So this is a collectible, tangible pin that I have. So imagine owning the NFT as a special, unique, one of a limited collection. So like when you go on OpenSea and type in PRS NFT membership, you're going to see the gold membership pop up, and it looks like this circle, and there's not, it's limited. So you grab your PRS NFT gold membership, and it is the value of an exclusive collector's pin, graphically speaking, like artwork speaking, right? But then it has all of these utilities, which is what includes the social good programs, and what Leg said, the access into the shows without having to wait for him to text you back, yeah, I got you your wristband, and it's going to come out to the front where you're waiting. So part of the practicality of the utility is we're bundling everything that we've been able to offer with PRS up till now, but in a new way. And for those of you who are OG PRS Fest people, we are approaching the 10-year anniversary.
Yes, 10th anniversary coming up 2023.
So this is a better time than ever right now to be one of the first who's getting one of the first NFTs that is giving back to the social good programs, specifically in Puerto Rico. But anybody, people all over the world can buy an NFT. So someone in Japan say, hey, I think this is very cool. I want to be a part. I'm buying my NFT for the PRS Fest 2023, the 10th anniversary, and I'm going to show up with my VIP spot in line. And I know that when I purchase that collectible limited edition NFT, that's going to also feed the fundraising programs that we're hooking up with smart devices. So it's a win-win, double win.
Yeah, we stole Audrey from the Home Shopping Network. That was great.
I'll call in Spanish now. I'm just kidding. But we do want to make sure that this is all available in Spanish, so that you can send this valuable content information to anybody that you know that needs to listen to it in Spanish. This again is part of bridging that divide, is making sure that vulnerable communities get what they need, the basic human rights, right? Water, solar power, communication. I live on the island. I've experienced those things. I've experienced not having those things, and it's not fun. Also, to have the ability and the access to the stuff that we're going to be releasing all throughout this year leading up to the next festival. So this isn't just like a one-time Monday night thing. This is going to be a continual growth process for all of us, particularly making this valuable education available to Spanish-speaking groups. So that's just something that we're passionate about.
So Mr. Mo, so everybody's like, all right, cool. So how do we buy an NFT? Because that is the most difficult thing for people to kind of wrap their heads around. Okay, I'm into these NFTs. All right. I want to try to buy one.
And I want to get in fast to the event, and I want VIP status, and I want to be chilling with the celebrities up in the upper deck, or, you know, the private deck.
How do I buy this, bro?
Right. So like anything else, right? We learn to set up and sign up to our emails accounts. We learned how to use our social media accounts. We learned how to use browsers. Now we need to learn how to set up a crypto wallet. That's where we are. So everything begins with education first, and setting up crypto wallets is what our focus is at the moment. So setting up a wallet requires you to download some software onto your phone. There's different applications that you can use. Some of the more popular crypto wallets are MetaMask. Another is Trust Wallet. But there's multiple different wallets that are available. So the idea of a wallet is that you installing these wallets onto your phone, and it's a few steps that you have to take. So number one is you download the software to your phone, and you go through the installation process. Now, in that installation process, you're going to be prompted with a 12-word phrase, or sometimes a 24-word phrase. And this is a unique phrase. This is kind of your backup. This is used in the case that you lose your phone or your phone gets damaged or stolen, that you can rebuild your wallet. So that seed phrase is a part of setting up your wallet. Now, once you finish setting up your wallet, it's pretty straightforward. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to set up. It's actually much faster than going to the bank and opening a checking account, which is amazing. So once you set up the wallet, then you have to fund the wallet. You have to put a little bit of crypto into that.
I have a question, Mr. Mo, before you keep going. So why is it important for me to hold that seed phrase, and how should I store it? Because if you lose that.
Yeah, so this is important, where you have to take a piece of paper and a pen and write it down slowly and clearly. Take that paper, put it in an envelope, make sure you label it, and put it in a very safe place. So you have to take, being that the crypto wallet is about basically building your own bank. When you really think about it, you're in charge of your own assets. So you want to make sure that you take extra precaution to secure, your seed phrase.
Right.
And that is something that you can write down on a piece of paper and put it in a safe place. There are also other tools that you can use to store your seed phrase. There's fireproof little pieces that you could actually put your seed phrase. It's a little I forgot the name of it. It's a little board.
Yeah, metal piece, metal.
Yeah, it's a metal piece that it's fireproof. It has it's fireproof.
Waterproof.
Fireproof, waterproof, right? And you use those to back up your seed phrase. Now, once you've backed up your seed phrase, right, you want to make sure you fund your wallet. So there's really two ways to do that. And that is, if you have, number one, if you have a Coinbase account already, you can send a little bit of Ethereum to your wallet address. So that's one way of doing it. And if not, MetaMask also now allows you to purchase a little bit of crypto using a credit card. And you can actually do it that way, where you fund your wallet purchasing a little bit of crypto with a credit card. Now, once you have the wallet set up and you have a little bit of crypto set up in your wallet, now you can go to the website. You can go to the marketplace. And that marketplace is where you'll find all different type of NFTs. So, which is where you'll find also the PRS NFT. And you're going to do it in 3 steps. And the first step is you're going to connect your wallet to the website. That's the first step. The second step is you're going to look and select a NFT, and there's a little buy button that you would click on, and your wallet would prompt you to say, okay, you want to buy this NFT, please verify that this is something that you want to do, and you'll verify.
So there is no login, no passcode, right? You just sign, one click, and that's it, right?
Yeah. So that's what's beginning to change too, because think of how many usernames and passwords we have now today, which is it's hundreds of thousands. It's stressing, right? We have to manage all these passwords, and now the idea is that your wallet can act as a key, and you can give websites permission to access your wallet, and that wallet will prompt you to verify when you want to make a purchase, or it will prompt you when you want to sell an NFT also, which you can do also. You can buy an NFT and resell it. So once you've selected an NFT, you verify it, you're going to also pay a small transaction fee for that NFT. And
yes,
once it goes through its process, now that the payment has been received on their end, they're going to transfer that NFT into your wallet, where you are now the owner of that.
Can you explain what the transaction fee is? It's called gas. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, so a transaction fee in the blockchain is referred to as gas. So gas is what's used to manage and keep the upkeep of the network. It takes energy. So being that there's no third party intermediary, a bank like a bank is providing a service for you, and they'll probably charge you a monthly fee for that, right? The way that it works in Web3 is there is no monthly fee. You only pay on the transactions. So it takes a certain portion of that and it creates a fee, and that fee covers the gas, which allows the network to work. So sometimes gas fees can be expensive when a lot of people are using it, but as time goes on, those fees will come down as the technology improves, as software gets updated. Those prices for gas should come down. Right now, average gas is probably anywhere from $5 to $10 when it's slow, and when it gets a little bit busier to $20. And at its peak, sometimes it can cost a lot more than that. But again, those fees will eventually come down. I think there was a question earlier also that I just glanced through real quick regarding the CO2 emissions, greenhouse emissions. There's sometimes people say Bitcoin destroys the planet, NFTs destroy the planet, and the reality is that's not true. There is a certain amount of energy that these NFTs do take, but those are usually on older systems that we refer to as proof of work. And what that means that there's a lot of computers that need to calculate and use CPU resources. So it becomes very, it's an energy sucker. Now there's new forms of blockchains, which we refer to as not proof of work, but proof of stake. And those are much more efficient and much better for the planet. It doesn't consume as much energy, and we see more evidence of the market moving in that direction. So being more sensitive to CO2 emissions and making sure that the protocols are not harming the earth, but they're making our system more efficient. But I always argue this, right? How many bank buildings are there in this country that are?
That's what I say all the time.
How many bank
empty bank buildings? You go to every city. Every city in America has a bank building that's probably empty, right? And it's just sucking up energy. So people complain about Bitcoin and people complain about Ethereum, but look at our financial system right now, all the energy that it sucks up. So we're actually being more efficient with crypto. Yeah,
NFTs and crypto are, I think in the long run, will be more efficient. They'll be automated, but more importantly, we need them to be transparent. And that's the problem. When you think of transparency from a bank, that's super important. Consider in 2008, we did not have the transparency. And as a result, there was a lot of bad behavior. And what happened was it sent the world into a financial spiral. We went into our collapse. You saw what happened in the housing industry. And that became problematic. And actually, it's that event that inspires someone by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto, who's the author of Bitcoin, who came up with the idea and premise. How do we get past this bad behavior? Because the history of central banks is that they print until the currencies collapse. History is repeated with that story over and over and over. So can we?
And we're always left holding the bag. We're always are left holding the bag.
Yeah, in 2008, what happened was nobody went to jail except for one person, and the taxpayers are the ones that had to pay it. So the only person that went to jail during that financial collapse in 2008 was one person, and his name was Bernie Madoff. And the reason why he went to jail is because he stole from the rich. In this country, you don't steal from the rich. They only steal from the poor. So the pushback is with blockchains, Bitcoin, cryptos, NFTs, and understanding that we have to be in control of our finance moving forward. This is a first step. This is the beginning. I would equate this to, we're in 1996, 1997 during the dot-com. So it's still super, super early. It's more important not to go into the market to speculate. It's more important to actually just start with the education first and ask the question. And actually, I welcome everyone push back too. why do we need this, right? And I think a lot of times you'll see when you go through that rabbit hole, you'll see the benefits of NFTs, that you can deal and you can create something of value and you can sell that in the marketplace directly without any intermediary. So this would be equivalent to you being at a farmer's market and selling a produce that you created, right? And being able to receive cash, right? Someone's handing you cash. And that transaction is happening without any bank or without any third party. Well, this is the digital version of that. An NFT would be like me standing in front of you, handing you cash, and I can receive that cash. In this scenario for an NFT, the underlining asset is a crypto like Ethereum. And I could receive that Ethereum and say, you know what, I want to just convert this to US dollars because I have some bills to pay. And I can convert those as well and deposit that back in my accounts. So you have the option of keeping the crypto, or if you want to sell the crypto back to a fiat currency, you can do that. Now, this could happen anywhere in the world. So your buyers, the people that want to support you, can come from anywhere in the world. So if we're saying we want to solve a problem of the digital divide in Puerto Rico, now, when we achieve our objectives, I believe that it's going to be an amazing use case to show how the festival was able to use the technology to solve a social problem for the digital divide and be able to move that forward and reimagine again the way that nonprofits can work. This is really interesting because when you start doing it at scale, that's where it could really have huge impact for people. So we want to begin with 1,000, but in the long run, what happens if we can support Puerto Rico, 1% of the island, to gift them with smartphones? What could that do to the economy over there? Can it improve it? And I think the answer is yes, it can. It can improve it. And if so, then what are the other areas that we can venture into and look at and to solve those problems? I think.
Audrey, you had a question, Audrey?
Yeah, this is just kind of going back to step one, but Mr. Mo, can you talk a little bit about marketplaces and how our NFT is on many marketplaces or is available on multiple, but like what is a marketplace? So once I set up my wallet and I'm connecting to the marketplace website, what does that look like?
So great question. So let's talk about marketplaces. So think of e-commerce marketplace. How many websites can you go to that allow you to buy things using e-commerce? There's Amazon, there's eBay, right? There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of marketplaces that allow you to buy products or services using e-commerce. Fast forward today, these new marketplaces are going to be driven by NFTs. So there can be marketplaces here in the US, there can be marketplaces in other countries, depending on what it is that they're selling or what they're specializing in. So these marketplaces are platforms that allow you to list your NFT, and your NFT can mean different things. In the case of PRS, it's an NFT that is being used for social good, and the perks that when you purchase that NFT is it gives you access to the festival. So that's what I think is awesome. So it could be art, it could be music, it could be photography, it could be many, many different things. So these marketplaces allow anyone anywhere around the world, because if you wanted to buy something in a different country with a credit card, that process might not happen because they might not recognize your bank over there. Here, using NFTs, this is kind of like a universal payment system that anybody can use to buy or sell an NFT without any friction. Or say for a moment that you had a piece of art that it offends someone. You could still sell it. It's censorship resistant because it's not, technically it's on the blockchain. So it's on the internet. It's not on their platform. Their platform is just reading what's on the blockchain and it's making those NFTs available. So marketplaces are NFT marketplaces. We're going to see a lot more of them on different networks. So we see marketplaces for Ethereum. We see marketplaces for exchanges like Binance. We see marketplaces on Solana.
We just witnessed eBay just got into the game and acquired a marketplace, so they are officially in the game. And I'm sure Amazon and Apple are not.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get crazy out here. Hey, there's a question: can NFTs be stolen, and if so, what action should be taken besides passcode changes?
Great question. Go ahead. Great question.
Yeah, can an NFT be stolen? So usually what happens is for people that have gotten an NFT stolen, it is because they usually clicked on an email, and that email is either like a spam or a malicious link that if you click on it and you don't know what you're doing, the reason why, again, you have to go through the education of what to do and what not to do. What not to do is don't ever receive an email, click on a link and connect your wallet because you're giving it permission. So
don't be a grandpa and a grandma.
Yeah.
Don't share your seed phrase. Do not share your seed phrase.
So you can't do things like that. You can't do things where someone is saying, hey, I'll help you with your whatever problem you're having. Send me your seed phrase, because they can rebuild your wallet and steal all your crypto.
Yeah.
Or NFTs.
So usually it's through these spams or through malicious actors that are trying to convince you to share your passwords and things like that. But if you understand that, then no, they cannot steal your NFT.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I think actually, I'm not sure if we're going to, there are no other questions at the moment.
Yo, guys, we've been on an hour already.
Yeah. So, and we do have to do, we're going to do a series of these, so we don't have to go too long on here today.
Yep.
I don't want to be like a long-ass YouTube show.
Hey, and we should share also that people should meet us on the Discord. Like, we started a PRS Discord.
Yes.
And I don't know, anybody could explain what a Discord is? Whoever, Mr. Mo, maybe? Yeah.
It's a social media platform that is used really a lot by gamers, but now the NFT community and the crypto community use it because it allows you to have different type of conversations using channels. So in the Discord, in the PRS Discord, you're going to be able to come into the Discord, interact, and be part of community and be part of a conversation. And the other thing is we can also live stream in these communities. Eventually, if you have an NFT, it'll give you access to special channels that you can go into and get special privileges or fast track at the festival. The Discord also will be a place where we focus on education. So conversations around the social good programs at PRS, the mentorships that that we can talk about. If someone's interested in being a mentor to a young person, PRS can help make that connection. And as well as tutorials and education material to learning some basics, some fundamentals about NFTs or cryptos or how to set up a wallet, or if you have an idea or if you're a creator, understanding how you build a creator economy, how you can make that available. And build your fan base and share the value with them or with your own communities. So there's going to be multiple different things that these Discords can do. But for now, it's a place where we congregate and come together as community to be part of the conversation, to be part of the dialogue. It's more campfire.
Awesome. Legs, any final words? Can you hear him?
I think he's muted for the moment.
I think your mic is muted.
Sorry about that. Yeah, no, I'm good. I think everyone should find PRS Fest on Discord, and if they do have the opportunity to, or if they do have a wallet already, consider the purchase of the PRS Fest NFT membership, so that you'll have your access, and we will also be able to become a self-sustainable
project
company, as you know, event, and you know, allow us to give those free cell phones to people out there who are from vulnerable communities, and the phone, I believe it's unlimited text and calling. There is a 2 gig cap on data, and of course, you know, we're giving these phones not so that you could just do whatever you want, but to be responsible with it if you are living in a very delicate situation, and you need to make sure that in case of an emergency, you have access to the apps that you need on a regular basis, or you know, for those situations, as well as your communication. And you know, if something happens to the phone, you do have to purchase another one, but you'll be able to keep all your contacts and all that stuff.
Yes.
Somehow.
One thing I would like to say about the education process, it could feel very daunting because it is a little complicated when you first start learning about NFTs and crypto. But once you go down that rabbit hole, like what I experienced from my, continue to keep going down. And every day I learned something new every single day. The space is evolving every day and things are changing quickly. A month in crypto is like 2 years. Nah, it's not 2 years. It's like 6 months. But it really moves fast. So be patient with yourself when you're learning, and seek out good information. Hopefully you guys will come back and come to Monday Mints, because we're going to be talking about all the new changes, and we have someone like Mr. Mo, we have Audrey, and of course we have Legs here to kind of help people along the path and the journey, and join the community. You know, it's going to be dope. Culture and tech. Come on.
Unity.
Hey, the other thing is, on the more serious side of things, a lot of people of color are far behind, especially people who come from the kinds of neighborhoods that we come from. And this is also, like, the educational aspect is so important, because we don't want to be left behind again. And a lot of us are already a little far behind, myself included. So I think it's really important that I take this chance to be involved with a whole other group of people that are into something that I haven't been into, but will also give me that level, help me to have that level playing field. And a lot of people don't want a handout. They just want to have a level playing field so they can play the game fairly with everyone else. And this is important for Black and brown people, or disenfranchised people. Like, take it serious. Yeah, we do want you to support and help us, but if at the same time we can provide you with the educational tools that you need so that you can level up on your own, we'll see you next Monday as well.
All right.
All right, we're good?
We're good.
We're good.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good night, everybody. I do it hard or something, but I always mess it up. Damn, you did that fast. All right, everybody, have a good night, and we will see you next Monday for Monday Mints.
Peace.